All right, that's what we're looking for. All right, guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how to turn this beautiful fish into an amazing meal. Sheephead are interesting because they only eat crustaceans. You can see by their mouth, they're set up to only eat crustaceans, and that gives their meat a really, really sweet flavor. So I'm going to show you a way to cook this fish that's really going to accentuate that flavor. This is a beauty. All right, before we get in the kitchen, let me show you a little intro. I'm using fiddler crabs today. These are just little tiny crabs. I got 50 for $15, so they're cheaper than shrimp, and the Sheepshead just seem to love them. You can catch these on your own. I don't really think it's worth my time given the cost of them. And I actually bought these last night. I'll show you my bucket setup later. But for now, I'm going to just catch a few more. I'm not going to keep any more. That one sheephead will be good for the meal that I'm going to make. The way I'm going to cook that, you can really stretch a fish like that a long way. Probably feed 4 people. So stay tuned for that, but I'm going to get some more. Oh, boy, they're loaded in there. They are loaded in there for sure. They like fiddler crabs, what can I say? Yeah. So fishing with fiddler crabs is pretty new to me. Here's an example of one with a really big claw. I just happened to grab him just right in the bucket, so happy about that. I'm going to pull that claw off. Toss that, I don't need that. And the way I'm going to hook them is just take my number 2 hook and run it right in the backside here. And one thing with all crabs I've found is you want to kind of rock your hook in there a little bit, just like that. That guy'll stay in real good. All I'm trying to do is get it as close to this bank as I can. About a foot away, that would work. 50 buyers. Oh, Sheepshead are frustrating. All right, let me just take a second to show you how I've got my fiddler crabs in a bucket here. All I did was create this contraption. So this is just an old shrimp bucket. I really didn't need this, but I wanted to give them as much shade as possible. And it's easier just for me to cover up this hole with just a wet rag as I'm moving around. In this middle bucket, I just drilled a bunch of holes in the bottom. I just used like a 1/8 inch drill bit and drilled maybe 50 holes in the bottom. And then I've set this smaller bucket into this larger one. I just happen to have this as an old cast net bucket here. And so this is what I drilled the holes into. The reason I did that was I was told that the crabs will, as they urinate or as they create their waste product, it'll sit in there, it'll smell real bad, and it'll kill them eventually. And so those holes are set up so that it'll just fall through into this bucket, and I'll just rinse them both out when I'm done. Now, I bought these guys yesterday, and they're super lively. So I'm probably going to keep what I don't use today alive for tomorrow. I got another trip planned with a buddy, and maybe we'll mess around with them a little bit more. But that's just my setup. Just 2 buckets, make sure there's holes in the bottom. The bait shop guy literally said, hey, if you want to treat them really nicely, put some sand in there. I would obviously done that had I had access to sand, but I didn't. So who doesn't want to treat their fiddler crabs nicely? Anyway, that's my setup. Let's get back to fishing. Okay, throw them up that side. The tide's coming this way. And I'm gonna switch hooks here, see if that makes a difference. I'm going about 1 for 4. All right, I'm going to try this weighted hook. The circle hook wasn't working as good. I normally fish shrimp for sheepshead, and the circle hook works fantastic. So let's try this. That's what people normally use, but I've just found that circle hooks work better for me, but I'm always fishing shrimp. So maybe there's a difference with the way they grab this fiddler crab. You know, in this case, I want to set on them. I'm not used to doing that. There we go. Yeah. Kind of fun, huh? Oh, this is a good one. All right, this guy's lucky I'm only bringing 1 fish home for my secret meal I'm going to show you here in just a second. Definitely something you're going to want to try. I mean, it is just a great way to cook these guys up. Look at that bad boy. That's a big boy. That is a beauty. Check them out. All right, let's see if we can just hook a few more. You know, Sheepshead, once you find them, you normally find a bunch of them. And this is not my first spot today. I had to look all over the place. Seems like there's quite a few right here, but it was a struggle today. You can see how low the tide is. The tide is normally up to where the green is. I thought that would make it a little bit easier today, but my normal spots didn't produce. So this is a spot here. My boat's like in about 5 feet of water. It's a pretty good bank right here. So maybe I was too shallow this morning. I don't know, but I'm glad I finally found some. Not used to setting the hook. I fish circle hooks 95% of the time or more. I guess there's not a lot more than 95%, but I'm a circle hook user. Oh, pesky. I don't know, maybe the circle hook and the weighted hook are equal. All right, here's my little fiddler crab. See, this guy doesn't have a big pincher. He's trying to get me. But I'm just going to come under here, and the trick I found is to go slow. A few times I kind of burned through here. I know I'm sitting on a pot of fish and I want to get my bait in the water, but if I rip through there too hard, what's happening is this flap here is just breaking off. This is just breaking off, and obviously don't want that. That looks perfect right there. Let's get him to work. These are fun fish. The thing is, the other ones I've caught have been so big. This one seems small. This is a big one. This is a big sheepshead spot. Now this guy here was an inch off of the shore. I got you, honey. He's fighting like a drunk on tequila. He just won't quit. He doesn't know when to comply. These things are tough fish, but that's a beauty. Definitely a keeper. Not my biggest of the day, but so we had a dolphin come by, and when I see a dolphin come by, I just think get in tighter. I've actually seen fish at docks do that, whereas the dolphin comes by, they just go straight up and they're in inches of water. You know, they've got two choices: either get super shallow, get into structure, or have that dolphin eat them. So obviously they're going to choose the other. So he's lucky I got one in the box. He goes back. All right, fiddler crabs are working. Oh, I missed the bite. Oh, I missed them. Oh, sheepshead. Maybe that's why I like them so much. They're a little bit hard to catch. They're a bit of a puzzle. All right, real tight. It's probably drops 2 feet right there. I think that's a very steep bank. Oh, I got handled. Fish are winning right now. Oh, popped off. That doesn't happen very often. Normally when you got a hook and a sheephead, it stays. I always keep this on my dashboard because I want to basically remember that I have it handy and just touch up my hook after a few fish. I'm always checking the point there. Now it's prickly. Now it's prickly. We'll see if that makes a difference. Obviously I missed some fish, so I wanted to check my hook. But where I really noticed it was getting a little bit dull is coming through the crab. It should get through there pretty good. Like now, a huge difference. So it's just something I'm always thinking about when I'm fishing. I mean, that thing should be incredibly sticky, sharp. All right, threw it right in there. Come on, sharp hook. It's so windy, I can't really feel the bite. I've got to watch my line twitch, which is definitely not ideal. And actually the wind is pushing my bait down. Yeah, I can't feel a thing. I'm really at a disadvantage with this wind. Oh, big hit. Oh, this wind sucks. No. Wait, sharp hook paid out. That's something that hooks a lot more fun than the circle hook. I don't know if it's as effective as the shrimp, but I mean, that's a good time pulling back and getting a guy like this. So real quick on my gear here, I'm fishing. This is my snapper rod. It's just a medium rod, medium star rod. I've got a 2500 reel. This is 10-pound braid, and I'm tied off to 15-pound mono. Water's so clear. Normally I'd fish 20, but the water's so clear I went to 15. These fish don't really break you off. They can't get you tangled up in bushes, but they're not too bad. All right, got one more for my limit. All right, this guy got me. They're not super aggressive, but that's a pretty decent sized claw there, so I'm just gonna pop that off. He got me. I'm a tough guy. People who know me are laughing. But you guys don't know me. I can say I'm a tough guy. All right, I'm just rocking that hook in there. There. There we go. He put a good licking on me, and we'll see if we can, if that anger produces a sheeps. See if angry fiddlers catch sheephead. Just so windy. I think I got hit there. Yep, I did. angry fiddler crabs do work. Now I got the hang of this, I'm popping them pretty good. I mean, each one of these is a keeper. Now this is a good bite. He took it deep. Sheephead normally don't do that. All right, that's number 8. These things need to be 12 inches. You can keep up to 8. They taste amazing in my opinion. This is my favorite fish to eat in the wintertime. And let me get to the kitchen and I'll show you why. But we'll let him go. We'll catch him another day. Catch you later. All right, well, time for canal beer. This time Coors Light. It's a pretty common beverage around here. Not really my normal canal beer. But anyway, I thought I'd explain a little bit about my first impressions with using fiddler crabs. So on the good side, they're cheaper than shrimp. They are much easier to maintain. They actually like warmer weather. I read online they want to target like 75 degrees. So I bought them last night. I just left them in the laundry. My wife's not a subscriber, so that secret can stay with us. But I just left them in the laundry in that bucket overnight, and you know, they were fine. I'm gonna keep the remaining ones I have, use them tomorrow. I'm sure they'll be fine again. They're so lively. But these fiddler crabs, that little contraption I showed, worked amazingly well. So I'm a fan. You know, I'd say on the negative side, they're a little creepy to hook. I started getting used to like really just grabbing the big ones with the big claw. I guess they're called fiddler crabs because the way they kind of hold their claw in like this, and you can just grab them just like that, and obviously render that claw useless. And saying that, I got pinched a few times, but you know, like I said, I'm a tough guy, so it didn't really bother me. The other negative thing I would say about the fiddler crab, and obviously I'm just starting to use them. I'll improve my technique, but I had to use that weighted hook. And when I'm fishing my normal sheepshead rig with a circle hook, a number 2 circle hook, and a really small slip sinker, it's feeling real. I can throw it out there, let it sink to the bottom. The smallest piece of shrimp, the better, as long as it's covering the hook. And I just wait for them to get on, I hook them. I never gut hook them when I do that. The circle hook works perfect in that application. And with the amount of wind we had today, that might have been better. I think shrimp circle hook maybe would have outfished fiddler crab. And maybe that's a good topic for another video. We can do a little side-by-side between the two, because I really feel like, for me, I've really found a technique that worked great. I just wanted to try something else today. I got a buddy who really swears by fiddler crab, and every fish I landed was a keeper. So maybe there's something in that. That's not always the case when I'm doing shrimp, but you know, pretty low sample size. So fiddler crabs, cheaper, easier to maintain, but you've got to zing them with that weighted hook. You can't be lazy like I have been and just use that feeling real circle hook technique, the Canal Life Special. Rodney catches a lot of fish on this boat. So let's get back to the house. I'm really excited to show you this recipe, and I feel like a lot of people kind of drop off. They don't want to watch the cooking. Guys, you're not going to want to miss this. This is a really elegant way to prepare this fish. It's a total delicacy. It'll blow people away. I mean, I'm normally making tacos. My wife is a taco fanatic, and this is something that is just miles beyond fish tacos. So it's super easy. You just got to get the right ingredients. You can buy them all on Amazon, and I'll show you all about that here right now. All right, we're all cleaned up. We've got our sheep's head ready to go. Let me show you how I make my sheep's head curry, my secret dish. Here we go. The key part of this dish, in my opinion, is this curry paste. This curry paste is Masuri. I buy it on Amazon, but I've got red, green, and then Massaman. And I know Massaman is a little richer. It's a little bit more Indian. It's got like a little more cinnamon, maybe a little nuttier flavor. I'm gonna not use this one today. I like that with chicken. And then between the red and the green, the difference is just the chilies they use, red chilies versus green chilies. Red's a little hotter. I'm making this for me. I like spice, so I'm gonna go with the red paste. And then we've got this coconut milk right here. So I have a friend whose wife is from Thailand. She turned me on to both of these ingredients, so I feel like they're kind of certified in a way. I grew up in Minnesota. I don't know anything about curry, but I do know these two things together are really, really good, and they're great with that sheep's head that I caught. All right, let's get cooking. I'll show you my ingredients. So this recipe is going to start with onions, ginger, and garlic. And please excuse me for using jarred garlic. I live in Southwest Florida. I just find that our garlic sucks down here. I like this garlic better. I know it's a faux pas in the cooking world. I'm going with it, sorry. Please accept my apologies. Now, it'd be traditional to use green beans, carrots, and always red pepper in this dish. I'm making this for myself, and I just happen to be an asparagus lover, so I'm going to use asparagus instead. And those are going to be my three vegetables that I'm going to there. You could really use whatever you want. Always use a bell pepper if you got it. Red is beautiful. It just looks great in the dish. And I'm going to probably finish it off with some basil. I got to run out to the garden and grab that. These are all our ingredients. It's really pretty simple. And here's our beautiful sheep's head. You can see I'm only going to use half of it. I'm just cooking for myself, and this is honestly more than I need. It's going to be a very fishy dish. I'm going to trim this up a little bit. So that's that. Let me prep this. And boom, we're prepped. So all I did here was fine dice a little bit of that sweet onion. I minced up that ginger. You could grate this if you wanted to, but this is how I'm doing it. And then I just got my garlic prepped out of the jar. For the veggies, I just tried to cut everything kind of the same size. So, and then with the fish, all I did was trim it down as best I could, get rid of as much of the bloodline as possible. I'm leaving the pieces big because when I put the fish in, and they'll go in last, as soon as they start to break up, I know that's when I'm done. So this will cook the fastest, that'll cook the slowest, especially the carrots. So the carrots I try to get a little bit smaller, matchstick them out a little bit. Well, let me show you how I put all of this together. This thing is going to take me less than 20 minutes to pull off. Let's do it. All right, fish sauce. 3 things I want to mention. First of all, don't be afraid of it. Use fish sauce. It's amazing. I've done it with and without. It's way better with. The 2 other things, though, are don't do's. Don't smell it, number 1. Trust me, I've made that mistake. And number 2, don't research how it's made. You're going to have to trust me on that one. But highly recommend it. This will really punch up the flavor. It'll create a bunch of richness. It's umami. It's necessary. Start off sauteing the aromatics. Pretty simple. We're going to go medium heat. This stove runs a little hot. It's magnetic induction. We'll go a fair amount of oil. We'll throw in our aromatics. And all I'm going to do is cook this until they're translucent, smelling good. One thing I wanted to mention real quick, the pan I'm using, it's from Daiwa. The reason I picked this pan is notice how there's no bolts right here? So when you clean it, it's way easier. Why don't all the other pans do that? Daiwa figured something out other people didn't. So I'm going to let this go until it gets translucent. Don't want to burn it. All right, I'm getting impatient. Let's get the fun stuff going. Oh, I just love it. You're not going to be able to smell this, but I am. Boom. I do the whole can. Maybe you can do less. I don't know. I know what works for me. I know what I love, and I love this. I'm going to cook this down a little bit before I put the coconut in. Oh, that smell is crazy. Get some of that moisture out. Alright, let's go in with the coconut milk. Oh, I just love the look of it. It looks like something that's going to be good to eat. I'm going to use a whisk here. I don't have to. I just had one handy. Incorporate the paste in the milk. And what I'm going to do is bring this up to a boil. I love cooking. I'd love to show some people some fun dishes that I'm making. I'll make the same thing over and over and over, and kind of, I feel like I get it exactly the way I want it. I'll put it in my recipe book, and then I'll come back to it a couple times a year. And this is definitely a dish where I've done that. Now, in saying that, I've never cooked it with asparagus. I've always used green beans in this case, but I was just kind of in an asparagus mood. Oh, that smell is amazing. This is a meal to cook without the fan on. Alright. I'm stirring just because I got nothing else to do. Let that come to speed. I'm going to drop my rice in. I'm using boil in the bag basmati. Probably again another bit of a cheat code here. I don't see any world-class chefs using boil in a bag, but it's just something that's always worked for me. I you know, drop it in for 9 minutes and let her go. Alexa, set the timer for 9 minutes. I'm only cooking for myself, so I'm just doing one bag. That should be plenty. No thanks, Alexa. Well, why does Alexa just randomly ask you stuff like that? It's stupid. All right, I'm putting in the vegetables. I've got a good boil here. Now, I don't want these to cook all the way through necessarily. I'm okay if they're just partially cooked when this meal's done. I want them to have a bite, so I'm going to let this go. I'm going to set a timer here for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to put the fish in, and we'll see where we're at. I'm going to cover it, see where we're at. All right. That's gorgeous. That's a pot of good-looking food right there already. Oop, almost forgot one thing. My fish sauce. I'm scared to use it, so I want to put about a teaspoon. That might be a little extra, but you know, I was talking up the fish sauce earlier. And I've got some sugar set aside in case this is too spicy. I'm gonna hit it with some sugar, hit it with some lime juice. Now notice I haven't put any salt and pepper in there. That paste has got so much seasoning in it. You don't need it. And it's hard not to put salt and pepper on your protein and all that. But I'm going with this. Man, that fish sauce smells. Don't be afraid of it though, please. I don't mean to scare people off. I'm also not trying to be funny. It really does smell. While that's getting ready, I'm going to get my finishing basil together. Gotta have something to do. Been about 5 minutes of bubbling here. I'm going to drop my fish in and I'm just going to cover it. So that's the top. Mr. Sheephead, there you go, buddy. Oh, I just love the way that looks. Oh, it's gorgeous. All right, buddy. I'm going to cover this up. I don't like where my temp's at. I'm a little hot. I'm going to turn her down. Just let everybody get to know each other in there. We're going to let this sit for 5 more minutes. All right, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's see where we're at. All right, all I'm going to do is see where my fish is at. Is it breaking apart yet? Ooh, we are very close. Very, very close. I'd say another minute. Let's check a veg. A little tooth test here. I can feel in the fork it's good though. Well, I'm hungry. Oh my goodness. I'm going to hit this with a little bit of sugar. It's got pretty good bite to it. All right, I'm going to call this good. Incorporate that sugar a little bit. And now I've got more sauce I need. I'm probably going to split out half this sauce and I'll use it for something else. Maybe I'll make a second batch tomorrow. I got more than I need here, but that's just, I didn't want to split it up. This is just how I made it. So it's definitely, I like it pretty thick. So I'll show you how I serve it up right now. So we'll take our basmati rice, stick it in the bowl. I think it's kind of fun to make it look cool. Maybe a little more. I'm hungry. It was a big day today. I didn't have any snacks with me. So we'll press that up against the bowl. And now for the good stuff. We'll drain out a little sauce. I want it good and thick. Look at those veggies. This is a great way to get a bunch of veggies in you. Give me some big fish pieces. That's a nice looking chunk. Maybe this piece here. All right, I'm going to start there. There's no way I'm going to end here, though. And I'm going to whack it. I don't think this is traditional, but I really like basil. And so I'm going to use basil on this. It's pretty powerful stuff. This is from my garden. Now, if this doesn't look fabulous, I got one more thing to do. I'm going to squeeze some lime in there, and I'll just drop her in just like they do in the restaurants. I don't know why. It just looks cool. There we go. Let's give it a taste. All right, how'd I do? Let's give it a shot. It sure smells good. The whole kitchen smells great. I tell you, I got the vegetables perfect. So that sheepshead is an absolute perfect protein for this. And this red curry is pretty spicy, to be honest. And I like spice. Pretty spicy. That sweet meat is something you're just jigging after. So I feel like I've perfected this dish. I think this is an incredible way to make sheepshead. It is really a treat. It's quick, it's fun, it's different. Check it out. If you got this far, please hit like and subscribe. I'd love it if you could make some comments. Let me know if you like the cooking content in this video. Fishing is obviously a massive passion in my life, so is cooking. And I'd love to add a little cooking content to my channel if you guys like it. So give me some feedback. Let me know if you got this far. Definitely give me some feedback if you ever make this dish. Hopefully I inspired you to try this curry. I'm eating that whole thing. So with the curry, I'm going to pair it with a little white wine. I got some Dutton Goldfield Chardonnay here. Honestly, I would go with the Sauvignon Blanc, or my favorite with a curry is a Viognier, a little sweeter wine. I don't drink Pinot Grigio, but that would work. And I don't drink Pinot Grigio because, number one, I'm a guy and I'm over 40. Anyway, white wine will work. Viognier is my favorite. I'll get back to this curry. I absolutely love this dish. I think it's the perfect use for a really unique fish that we have. Kind of a wintertime delicacy. Absolutely love it. This thought I'd share it, put it on the channel.